we recorded our cover of Heaven by the Talking Heads, we needed a nice big, round, warm, vintage bass tone. That sounded something like this. Now, my usual setup didn't sit quite right in this mix. It just wasn't taking up enough space. And if you've ever had that kind of problem, I've got you. Okay, so now I've got that bass soloed, and we're going to go over how we got to this tone. So first off, I'm using a fretless P bass. You don't need to use a fretless bass, but a P bass is a good idea for this kind of a tone. So here's what it sounds like with just a little bit of EQ that I used to sculpt out some muddiness, but nothing else really going on yet. Now, the next thing I did was I used a decapitator to add a little bit of gain. Now this is the normal amount of gain I would use for this kind of a tone. In the mix, that sounded like this. It's not bad, but it's also not quite full enough, and we need that to take up some more space. So I brought in Devil-Lock, and what we did with Devil-Lock is we used the crush to add some compression to this, and then we used the crunch to add some additional distortion. Now, this is what that sounds like soloed. Now I understand by itself that sounds pretty ugly, but remember, your audience is not going to hear the solo track, they're going to hear the mix. And here is what that sounds like. So when it's soloed out, our bass tone sounds, well, pretty bad. It sounds gnarly. It sounds way overdriven. However, when we put it in the context of the mix, it sounds warm and it sits really, really nicely. Well, I hope that helps. And if you've made it this far, maybe go check out our cover of Heaven on all streaming platforms, or hey, some of our other music.